You're listening to Brains On, where we're serious about being curious.
Brains On is supported in part by a grant from the National Science Foundation.
Welcome to the Brains On headquarters studio. I'm your host, Molly Bloom.
And I'm your co-host, Lynx.
We're here today with Kitty the cat, who is not only an adorable kitty, but also an accomplished cat actor. She's here to promote her starring role in the blockbuster hit, How to Train Your Kitten. Hi, Kitty.
First, I just want to say I loved the movie. Your performance was perfect.
You pulled off some serious stunts, Kitty, and you did them yourself, right? No stunt cat? Oh, whoopsie daisy, you knocked over my coffee cup. It almost looked like you did that on purpose.
I'll grab a paper towel.
Thanks, Lynx. Speaking of accidents, I heard there was a bit of a mishap during one of the stunts involving a truckload of kitty litter and 12 barrels of chocolate sauce, and you survived. Is the whole 9 lives thing true? Ouch! Watch those claws, Kitty.
Oop, are you okay, Molly?
Yeah, no problem. Kitties have claws and don't always mean it when they scratch. Isn't that right, Kitty? Okay.
So, Kitty, how was it wearing that hat in the Cat in the Hat heist scene?
Oh, Kitty, let's not chew on the microphone wire, okay? Come, no, the wire is not for eating. Ow! Okay, the wire is yours. Maybe we should wrap this up. What do you think, Lynx?
Good idea, Molly. Kitty, any final thoughts you'd like to share about the filming process?
Wait, no, Kitty, don't walk on the sound effects board.
Kitty, come back!
You're listening to Brains On from APM Studios. I'm your host, Molly Bloom, and I'm here with Lynx from Minnetonka, Minnesota. Hi, Lynx.
Hi, Molly.
Our interview with Kitty the cat actor went a little haywire, but it was still really fun. So we decided to go to a cat cafe to surround ourselves with even more cats.
A cat cafe is a cafe full of cats. Most are up for adoption. It's a great way to find feline friends while you have a frappuccino. And at this cat cafe, there are cats everywhere.
On the bookshelves,
On the counter, all over the couches and tables.
and rubbing up against my leg. Aw, hi, kitten. Lynx, you sent us a question about cats. What was it?
I wanted to know when cats sleep.
So I know you thought of this question several years ago. Do you still want to know the answer?
I kind of already figured out the answer.
Okay, tell me what you think.
Well, when I came up with a question, I noticed that my cats they didn't really seem to sleep deeply. Like, they would be very easily woken up.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, are they actually asleep or are they just closing their eyes and resting?
And what do you think now?
I think they are sleeping, but just like evolution had them be able to wake up really easily so that they can survive.
Smart. So you have cats. Can you please tell us how many you have?
I have 3 of them. Their names are Lily, Kite, and Stormy.
And what do they look like?
Kite is this tabby cat, but her stripes are more like wavy and splotchy. Lily is a tabby with like straight stripes.
Mm-hmm.
And Stormy is a black cat who, in the sunlight, he actually looks like he's really dark brown.
Cool. So what do you like about cats in general?
I like how agile they are, and they're also really smart, so I like that.
Nice. So do you like to play with your cats?
Yep.
What's your favorite thing to do when you play with them?
Like drag a long string behind me as I run down the hallway.
And they chase you?
Yeah.
That's super fun. And how about like relaxing with the cats? What's your favorite thing to do to relax with your cats?
Probably read a book while they sit on me. Sometimes they end up sitting on the book, though.
That makes it hard to read.
Yes.
I feel like cats like to be right in the middle of the action. Like if you're on your computer, they're like, let me sit on the keyboard.
It's like when you're reading and they're like, oh, don't read. Pay attention to me.
Exactly. Well, you are not the only listener of Brains On who loves our feline friends. We've received a lot of cat questions over the years.
Hi, my name is Jonathan. I live in Houston, Texas. My question is, why do we keep cats as pets?
Hi, my name is Elodie from Halifax, and my question is, what's in catnip that cats like?
My name is May, and I'm from Thornton, Colorado. And my question is, why do cats lick themselves?
I want to know why cats don't like water and dogs do.
We'll answer those in a bit, but first, aw, look at this little kitty coming up to me. Hello, kitty.
The cat's name is Reginald, and he does not appreciate being called a kitty when he is, in fact, a dignified gentle cat.
Oh, hello, Reginald.
I'm Katerina, the human who runs this place.
I'm Molly.
And I'm Lynx. We're here today to learn more about cats.
That's too much espresso, Princess Meowser. If you thought herding cats was hard, try getting them to make lattes. What can I get for you?
We've got some cat questions that need answers, like this one from Jonathan in Houston, Texas.
Why do we keep cats as pets?
This is a cat cafe, not a cat university. Do you want a coffee or not?
Oh, sure. I'll have a decaf cappuccino.
And I'll have the dandelion sun tea.
Mr. Nibbles, we need a decaf number 4 and a number 11. Yes, I mean right away. Why is it so hard to find a cat that is both adorable and a good barista? Your drinks will be out in a minute, or 10, and they may or may not be filled with cat hair.
Katerina, do you think maybe you could tell us about why humans keep cats as pets?
I mean, you do seem to know cats very well.
I should think so. I just did performance reviews with all of them. I've been running this cat cafe for the past 27 years, and Mrs. Whiskers, don't you dare lick that cappuccino. We just talked about this yesterday. Most cats are lactose intolerant, so they shouldn't have dairy. But yeah, I can help answer your question. Humans and cats started hanging out together around 10,000 years ago at the end of the last ice age. And it'll be the next ice age before Mr. Meowser remembers to wash his paws before returning to work.
What?
Never mind. Anyway, around that time, the Earth was getting warmer and humans started farming for the first time in history.
They were farming cats?
What? No, food and stuff. A lot of these farms were in a part of the world called the Fertile Crescent. And, speaking of crescents, Captain Caterwall, I can smell the almond croissants in the oven. They're burning. Oh my gosh. Les croissants au monde. They're burning. Fine, il brûle.
Do you need to go help with that?
No, he's fine. He's just such a snob about his French pastries. So you would think he would remember to set a timer. Anyway, where was I?
Around 10,000 years ago, people were farming in the Fertile Crescent, which is in the area we now call the Middle East.
That includes countries like Jordan, Egypt, Turkey, and Iraq.
Right. Anyway, these farms were growing lots of wheat, barley, and other grains. The farmers needed to store these grains so they could eat them later. But the mice living around these farms were like, wait, what if we ate all these grains now?
So mice came to eat up all the wheat and stuff the farmers were growing?
Uh-huh. And the cats came to eat up all the mice. But these cats weren't like the ones we know today. They were African wild cats, solitary creatures, just a bit bigger and more muscular than pet cats are today. They're yellowish-brown and striped, sort of like a tiger.
So these wild cats hung around farms because they knew they were guaranteed to find mouse snacks.
You just had to say mouse snacks. Everybody just chill out. No, I don't have any mouse snacks for you today, but there are some burnt croissants in the kitchen. Hey, you can't all take your break at the same time. Well, might be a longer wait for your beverages.
That's okay. This history is fascinating.
Anyway, after a while, farmers must have realized that these wildcats were great at catching rodents, so they probably invited them to stay, or at least didn't shoo them away.
So that's when cats made the jump from farms to laps?
Yes and no. That's when cats started hanging out with humans more, but were they friendly with each other, or were cats and people more like coworkers who both wanted to get rid of mice? We don't know. But archaeologists did discover a grave in modern-day Cyprus from about 10,000 years ago that contained a man and a cat.
He must have loved the cat if he was buried with it.
I suppose so. And that's how we know at least some cats probably started becoming pets around that time.
Archaeologists also found mummified pet cats in ancient Egypt from about 6,000 years ago.
Oh, yes. Did you know the ancient Egyptians domesticated African wildcats a second time? This was completely different from the Fertile Crescent cats. Scientists analyzed cat ancestry and realized cats today come from 2 different African wildcat lines.
Whoa, what was that?
Probably Captain Caterwall and his band of artistes getting creative again. If I find paw prints on the menus again, no one is getting promoted.
But the Egyptians...
Yes, they loved their pet cats. Cats kept ancient Egyptians safe from animals like snakes and scorpions and were even mummified alongside their owners. Sometimes ancient Egyptians mummified mice, too, to keep the kitties company in the afterlife. Dr. Zhivago, what is in your mouth?
Is that a mouse?
A mouse in my cafe? Dr. Zhivago, outside, now!
Whoa, that mouse came to the wrong cafe.
There's no way this place is up to health code.
Can I get you to anything while I wait for your beverages? I don't know what's going on back there.
No, we're okay, right, Lynx?
Yeah. So, how did cats get from the Fertile Crescent to the rest of the world?
Well, farmers and traders in the Fertile Crescent probably introduced cats to parts of Europe, and Egyptian cats made their way to places like Germany on Viking ships. Vikings loved cats because they helped control rat and mouse populations on their ships. These kitties sailed around the world and hopped off ships in Europe and beyond. Like Pudding Drop. His family's from Hawaii, and he's Employee of the Week. Aren't you my little puddy?
Wow, Pudding Drop is gorgeous. I've never seen an all-white cat with blue eyes.
Neither have I. If all domesticated cats are descended from striped African wildcats, how did we get white cats like Pudding Drop?
Because of breeding. Breeding is when humans encourage animals with certain traits to have babies, so their babies look or act a certain way.
So breeds are like different versions of animals?
Yes, like Dalmatians and Bulldogs. Both dogs, very different breeds. There are lots of different dog breeds, but not so much with cats.
Why?
Because humans have done way more dog breeding than cat breeding. Dogs were bred to do jobs like herding sheep or helping firefighters. Cats, sadly, have not been. Which is why they make such questionable baristas! Most cats were bred for their looks, and cat breeding also wasn't a thing until the late 1800s, while dog breeding is much older. So cats haven't had as much time to change. They're still pretty similar to their wild ancestors.
How many cat breeds are there?
Around 45, maybe more. Did you just ask to hear my song about my favorite breeds?
No.
Come, join me around the piano. No, Petunia, no. Off the keys. You have to learn how to clean the espresso machine before you get promoted to accompanist. Okay, here we go. My song about cat breeds. This is my happy place. Kitties, they are perfect in every single way. Ones that like to be alone and ones that like to play. Purebreds, they are finicky, fancy, and for show. But they are cats just the same, and breeds are fun to know. So here's a little ditty to keep each type in mind. Listen on to hear a list of all the breeds I find divine. Bengals, they are spotted like a ladybug. Maine Coons, they are gentle, good for a furry hug. Garfield is a Persian, an orange and lazy cat. Sphinxes, they are hairless, they look a bit like bats. Ragamuffins can do tricks, go saggy in your arms. Siamese like to meow and sound off the alarm. These are breeds I like best, there are so many more. Scritchy scratch, what's that? More kitties at my door.
Oh, brava.
Nice work.
So wonderful.
Thank you. 4 years at Juilliard, and here I am managing a coffee shop full of cats. Really putting my talents to use.
Hey, do you hear that scratching sound?
And that squeaking. Is that another mouse?
A mouse? Definitely not. You must be mistaken. But I do need to visit the lavatory if you'll excuse me. Ha ha ha! Dr. Zhivago, where is it? Where is the mouse? I know I just heard it.
All right. Well, speaking of sounds, it's time for the... All right, Lynx, are you ready to hear it?
Yeah.
Great. Here it is. What do you think?
Sounds kind of like waves because it's like gets louder and then it gets
Mhm.
softer and louder and softer. I guess it also made me think of an angry swarm of bees.
Okay. Yes, I can hear both of those. I also have no idea what this is. So maybe it's an angry swarm of bees in the ocean, playing in the waves.
That seems unlikely.
You're correct. You're correct. You want to hear it again?
Yeah.
Okay, let's hear it again. What do you think?
There's like the getting louder, softer, louder, softer
Mhm.
sound, but then there's also like a sound in the background that's like steady all the time.
Yeah. What could that be? I'm going to guess someone blow drying their fancy cat's hair. I think maybe your ocean guess is better, but we're going to find out. Do you have any
I
other
guess it
guesses?
could also be like that thing where you leaf blower.
Oh, yeah, totally. I could hear that. Like someone just going outside and
Or a vacuum cleaner.
Oh, vacuum cleaner. That's a really good guess.
Because when you do a vacuum cleaner, you kind of move it forward,
Yeah.
backward. So
And the angry bees are the ones doing the vacuuming.
no.
No, okay.
No.
That's a totally different
No.
guess.
Yeah, that's separate.
That's separate. Okay, I love that. Excellent guess. Well, we'll hear it again, have another chance to guess, and hear the answer after the credits, so stick around.
You're listening to Brains On. I'm Lynx.
And I'm Molly, and we're back in the studio at Brains On headquarters.
That cat cafe was fun, but I'm pretty sure there was cat hair all up in my drink, which took 20 minutes to make. It was fun watching all the kitties, though.
It was quite captivating.
Yeah.
Those cats were very talented.
Yeah, sort of.
The catmosphere there was perfect.
Molly, the line between witty banter and dad jokes is a thin one.
I think you mean kitty banter and cat jokes.
Molly.
Okay, you're right. I can't resist a pun, but we have to focus. We have tons of listener questions about cats and not a lot of time to answer them. Here to help is author, scientist, and cat behavior expert Mikel Delgado. Mikel, of course, is a cat person as well.
I have 3 cats. Their names are Ruby, Coriander, and Professor Scribbles.
Professor Scribbles.
I know, such a great name. Okay, let's get right to it. Here's our first question.
Why do cats lick themselves?
They're creating this identity through their scent when they lick themselves all over their body. Their breath has a distinct smell, and they're probably distributing that all over themselves so that other cats will recognize them. And they also are just doing it to stay clean. And I think probably it's perhaps like a pleasant thing. Like if you think about cats who really enjoy being brushed or petted, like they like that touch. And so maybe it's like, scratching an itch. It feels good.
So cool. Also, fun fact. Cat tongues are covered in tiny hooks made of the same stuff our fingernails are made out of.
So it's like they're scratching their own backs with lots of tiny fingernails.
Okay, next question.
What's in catnip that cats like?
People always have questions about catnip and what it is that their cat is doing when they interact with catnip. It's a plant, but it produces a specific chemical called nipidolactone. They roll in it, they rub on it, they chew it, they, sniff it. Now, the cool thing about catnip is you might think like, why would they do this? Like, what would be the benefit of rubbing on a plant and sniffing it and chewing it? And researchers also shown that the chemicals in catnip and other similar plants is that these chemicals repel mosquitoes. And so it's possible that one of the reasons that cats have this response to catnip is when they rub on it and roll in it, it's like putting mosquito repellent on themselves, making them less likely to get bitten by mosquitoes. So not only does it feel good, but it protects them from mosquito bites. I think that's pretty cool. Cats also like to rub and roll in other plants. Silvervine is one of them. Tatarian honeysuckle is another. Valerian is another one. So don't limit your cat's fun to just catnip.
Yeah, not all cats are into catnip, but they might like one of these other plants. Give them a try.
Do your cats like catnip?
Lily does. The others, not so much.
So you gotta try the other ones, maybe. Here's our next listener question.
I want to know why cats don't like water and dogs do.
First of all, I want to correct this assumption that all dogs like water. That is not true. Likewise, not all cats like water. A few breeds seem to like water, but most cats don't like water. Being wet is uncomfortable for cats. They groom themselves so much, and the water is going to make their fur very heavy. And so then they're going to have to groom all that water off. So that could be part of it, is just doesn't feel good to them. However, what I will say is that a lot of cats do like to play with water. So it's not like they're like afraid of any interaction with water. I have these little fish toys that when I put them in water, they kind of wave around. My cats like to dunk their paws in and play with the fish. And the other thing I think people need to know is like, you should not need to bathe your cat. There's a few breeds that do need to be bathed. Those are usually the hairless breeds. They can get like cheesy stuff in their skin. It's kind of gross, but your average short-haired or long-haired cat should never need a bath. I've never actually bathed any of my cats. They take very good care of themselves. They like to groom themselves and keep themselves very clean. So for most cats, there's just not a lot of reason for them to get in the water.
To be fair, I don't really like getting wet either. All right, our final question comes from you, Lynx.
When do cats sleep?
Cats sleep a lot. So cats are interesting. I think a lot of people think that cats are naturally nocturnal and that they stay up all night. And that's not necessarily true. Cats are naturally crepuscular, and that word means that they're active at dawn and dusk. So that is when their prey is naturally active. So mice and birds tend to be more frisky at dawn and dusk. So cats are naturally just, their body says like, oh, you should be alert and active right now because this is a hunting opportunity. And that really hasn't changed. So you will notice that cats get the zoomies, 8, 9 p.m., they're running around. And then maybe, as the sun's coming up, they're starting to stir and show interest in what's going on around them. I personally like for cats to sleep at night because that's when their humans are usually sleeping. So I always encourage people to play with their cats a lot during the day. Make sure you're giving your cats things to do during the day, like toys to play with, and problem solving opportunities like a food puzzle where they have to interact with a little toy to get treats or kibble out. Things that will keep your cat awake during the day and that will help them sleep more overnight so they don't wake their human up.
Playing with your cat is fun, and it helps them sleep better. Win-win. So for all you kitties listening out there, it's time to go night-night.
And our cat cafe friend, Katerina, has a little lullaby to whisker you off into a meowsing dreams.
Kitties get the zoomies at bedtime and at dawn. Then they snooze through breakfast, find lunchtime quite a yawn. Cat naps are their specialty, cozy, short, and sweet. Curl up with your kitty for a snuggly treat.
Pet cats are descended from African wildcats.
They were first domesticated around 10,000 years ago in the Fertile Crescent, which is now the Middle East.
Today, there are over 45 special breeds, but cats haven't changed much over the years. They're still pretty similar to their wild ancestors.
They lick their fur to stay clean and make themselves smell unique.
Lots of cats love catnip, and it might help keep mosquitoes away.
And they take lots of little naps, up to 20 hours a day.
That's it for this episode of Brains On.
This episode was written and produced by
Molly Bloom
and
Rosie DuPont.
Our editors are
Sandon Totten
and
Shayla Farzan.
fact-checking by
Nico Gonzalez Whistler.
We had engineering help from Derek Ramirez with sound design and original music by
Rachel Breeze.
Original theme music by
Mark Sanchez.
We had production help from the rest of the Brains on Universe team.
Anna Goldfield,
Ruby Guthrie,
Lauren Humpert.
Joshua Ray. Mark Sanchez.
Charlotte Traver.
Anna Weigel,
And
Aaron Woldeselassie.
Beth Perlman is our executive producer, and the executives in charge of APM Studios are Chandra Kavati and Joanne Griffith. Special thanks to Juan Garzon, Clara Salgado, and Matias.
Brains On is a nonprofit public radio program.
There are lots of ways to support the show. Subscribe to Brains On Universe on YouTube, where you can watch animated versions of some of your favorite episodes, or head to brainson.org.
While you're there, you can send us mystery sounds, drawings, and questions.
Okay, Lynx, are you ready to listen to that mystery sound again?
Yeah.
Okay, so last time you were like leaf blower, vacuum, ocean, angry bees. I was like, maybe a blow dryer. What do we think?
I think vacuum cleaner, cleaning cat fur from a rug.
Yes, I like that idea a lot.
You can kind of hear like this section like disconnecting and then connecting.
I love it.
And it's also kind of recognizable because when my mom vacuums, it's so annoying.
You're like, I am familiar. All right. Should we hear the answer? See if we got it right.
Yes.
Okay, here it is.
Hi, my name is Roy. I'm from Erie, Colorado. The sound you just heard was the sound of a rowing machine. And what I like about that sound is it sounds like the wind.
A rowing machine? Have you seen a rowing machine?
Oh, yeah, my dad has one.
Oh.
It does sound like that. So the wave guess was kind of similar because it has water.
Totally. Okay, so you were right. You were like very close.
Yes.
I'm giving it to you.
Water.
Water, a rowing machine. So a rowing machine is like a piece of exercise equipment?
Yeah,
You like pretend you're rowing a boat, basically?
basically.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Make sure to check out all our great podcasts, Brains On, Smash Boom Best, Forever Ago, and Moment of See you next time.
Thanks for listening.